Coming up in the morning edition, the Minister of Finance boasts a global standard success. The Progressive Liberal Party starts convention today. And let's go see the animals at Adastra Garden. Happy Thursday. The weekend is almost here. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Edition. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks so much, as always, for waking up with us. Well, our Independence Clue-In continues, so stay tuned and keep watching for those clues throughout the morning. Our Charles Fisher is ready to receive those calls come Friday at 502-3880. And remember, this is the final week for you to get that opportunity for a weekend stay at Comfort Suites on Paradise Island. Now let's get right to it. We go to weatherman Basil Dean, who's standing by with the Bank of the Bahamas weather report. This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
And good morning to you, Keishla. Zednes Telecamp picking up cloudy skies over the capital this morning, and we had some overnight rains and thunderstorms, which we will have more of that. We'll tell you all about that later in the newscast, so stay tuned. And as we go to our satellite picture, you can see we have that blob of convectivity moving across the northwest and central Bahamas that will continue to fire up those showers, as we told you already. But outside of our studios, it is mostly cloudy temperature, 77 degrees, relative humidity at 94%, southeast winds at 6 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,017.4 millibars. That is 30.04 inches, and the pressure is falling. Temperatures around the islands this morning: Marsh Harbor at 82, Green Toll Key, Freeport 82 degrees, the Berry Islands 83 in Allenstown, Bimini, Harbor Island 84, Roxanne and Lutra 82, Otterstown, Cat Island at 83 degrees, 78 in Stanley Key, Kemp's Bay, St. Andrews, Freshwick and Central Andrews at 79 degrees. In San Salvador and Rum Key, 83 is in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, 82 in Acklins, Machitan, Nagua, 83 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands also at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast for today: in the northwest Bahamas, light and variable winds. The seas are going to be flat, but you can anticipate gusty winds near showers and thunderstorms. Low tide 7:24 this morning, high tide at 1:48 in the afternoon. For the central Bahamas, the winds will blow out of the southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. For the southeast Bahamas, southeast winds 12 to 18 knots, and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks, Basil. Well, work crews are cleaning up after a fatal accident in eastern New Providence early this morning. Our Jiminy DeSwain reports live from there with your Bahamas First traffic report.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Good morning, Keishla, and good morning, Bahamas. We're coming to you live from Bernard Road. Just behind me, or in the vicinity of a shot, you can see that some Bahamas Power and Light workers are working to restore a downed utility line or pole as a result of a traffic accident that was reported to police just after 2 this morning. Now, to give us some information on what happened is, of course, Corporal Lagori Barr of the Police Traffic Division. Good morning, Corporal Barr.
Good morning, Jiminita. Good morning, Bahamas.
Now, what happened in the accident in terms of any injuries?
Early this morning, we had a traffic accident involving injuries where one of the occupants succumbed to the injuries on scene as a result of that traffic accident.
Now, a second person was also involved in that accident as well. You don't know the condition of them. I believe they were transported to hospital.
Yes. As a result of this accident, a second victim, a female driver, was transported to PMH, the A&E section, where she's being treated and is listed as stable condition.
Now, what we can see from here for much of the morning, there is a slight bottleneck being created anywhere to motorists as they access this area, making their morning commute.
Yes, we'd want to advise motorists while commuting through this area to exercise patience. Like you said, we have behind us workers from the Bahamas Power and Light Company who are working and making some great efforts in having the utility poles and power restored in this area. They're asking that we assist them with exercising patience while commuting through this area, which has now been diverted into a single lane, and we have vehicles traveling both directions. Also, they anticipate being out here for maybe another hour, so possibly by 9 o'clock this area should be clear for all motorists.
Well, thank you so much. That is, of course, Corporal Decory Barr. As we told you earlier, traffic officials were on scene. Now, to find out what preliminary investigations reveal, we now turn to the head of the Police Traffic Division, Chief Superintendent Craig Stubbs.
Our initial prognosis of this accident suggests to us that the Honda Harrier was traveling east, and the Honda Suzuki Swift would have been traveling west when they collided into each other. The impact of both vehicles caused both of them to then veer off the eastern side of the Burnett Road corridor and make contact with a utility pole that, as you can see, is severely damaged as a result of the accident.
Now, BPL officials expect to be out here for another hour, so if you do have to use this area of Burnett Road, please exercise caution. Back to you in studio, Keishla.
Thanks a lot, Jiminita. Now to our top story for today. A compendium of financial services bills passed in the House of Assembly yesterday before parliamentarians began their summer recess. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Peter Turnquest, says the country has had recent success in efforts to meet global standards imposed on the financial services sector. He says the Bahamas passed the latest assessment of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which has confirmed the Bahamas is a safe place for financial services and corporate investment. Speaking to the bills, he said they'll strengthen the financial services sector.
This confirmation by the OECD that the Bahamas' domestic laws are not harmful affirms the Bahamas as a premier partner in the global fight against harmful tax practices and reinforces to the international community that the Bahamas is a safe place for financial services and other investment activities. Our commitment to the enhancement of transparency mechanisms demonstrates yet again that the Bahamas will not be a jurisdiction that encourages or facilitates financial crimes, including tax evasion and money laundering. The Ministry of Finance will now ensure all participants in the financial services sector, including regulators, industry, and stakeholders, are doing their part to monitor full compliance with all the provisions of the new laws.
The Progressive Liberal Party's 54th convention officially opens at 8 o'clock this morning at the Melia Nassau Beach Resort. PLP delegates comprise senior members and party supporters from throughout the country who will attend the party's third convention in 2 years under the theme Renewal, a Call to Action. Nomination for party officers takes place on Friday. The convention's keynote address will be delivered by PLP leader Philip Brave Davis. An installation prayer breakfast is set for 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Now, PLP Trustee Joseph Curry explains the convention's voting process, starting with those nominations.
Any qualified member of this great party can actually be nominated to serve. But he or she must be nominated by at least, from the floor, at least 2 official delegates of the convention. Also, that person must be, through their nomination process on a form, have a minimum of 10 official delegates sign their form indicating that they support this person's bid for whatever office he or she may be offering.
A preliminary report on the crash that killed billionaire Christopher Klein and 6 others has been released and reveals that the helicopter was only able to retain altitude for about 1 minute after takeoff before crashing into waters off Big Grand Key in the Abacos on the 4th of July. The aircraft was headed to Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, where medical attention would be sought for 2 of its passengers. According to the report issued by the National Transportation and Safety Board, NTSB, in the United States, the flight originated from Palm Beach, traveled to Big Grand Key, and kept its engines running engines running as the passengers boarded. A witness reported seeing the helicopter 1.5 nautical miles from the accident site, witnessing it lift off and climb to between 40 and 50 feet above ground level, then shortly thereafter descending. 3 engineering firms have submitted proposals to the government for the design of a new glass window bridge in Gregory Town, Eleuthera. Works Minister the Honourable Desmond Bannister says a firm is expected to be selected before year's end.
By the final quarter of this year, a firm will be selected. The preliminary studies and testing should commence early in 2020. The area of the glass window bridge is one of the natural wonders of the world, and a successful firm will have to produce a design that complements the magnificence of the site. It is hoped that the new glass window bridge will become as iconic as the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and will draw visitors from the Bahamas and around the world.
We now know when those road traffic amendments will take effect. The minister responsible for road traffic and local government, the Honourable Renwood Wells, sets the timeline at the first week in October. The amendments will now govern the use of electronic devices in vehicles by motorists.
The reason why we chose, the only thing we need to do now is to put forward the appointed day notice, as you know, for it to actually become law. And the reason why we chose October is that we want to be able to do the PR campaign for the Bahamian people to cause them to understand exactly what it is that we're intending to do in regards to them being able to turn left on the stoplight, in regards to communication devices, electronic devices, and also to some other issues that have been going on within road traffic.
Well, there's nothing like taking the kiddies to see all the animals at Adastra Gardens. All that and more when we return right after this break.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with our debt consolidation loan. Give you 1 monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow, finally! A bank that's looking out for me. What you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
That's right, LD. You ain't MBA. Where do I sign?
It's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
Buddy Hield and the Kings have their...
Buddy Hield seemed to be having the best season of his career. He had 32 points the other night. It was a bit disappointing, Shawnee Miller not winning the IAAF World Female Athlete of the Year. The high school rankings will soon be out. Tabernacle, the defending champion, CC Sweeting, they are always there. Who will it be this year? Each Monday on 1540 AM and 104.5 FM, it's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me, your host, Carla Palmer, for continued adventures in agriculture and the marine environment as we head into Season 2 of the program, Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now, moving to a new date and time, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
I want to wish a very happy anniversary to the team for the morning edition. It has turned out to be quite a good and positive program.
Welcome back. Professionals within the local artistic community are appealing to the public for financial support. This after the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts was vandalized recently. Our Desmond Saunders visited with them.
Chairman and Artistic Director of the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts, Philip Burrows, shocked and speechless.
The first thing we surmised that they did was they cut the phone line, which cut off any alarm call to the station. Then they cut off fiber connection, which comes into the theater, so that cut off any internet connection. and then they broke in to the, I think it's at the, probably best to say, the bathroom window.
Anger and dismay still looms after vandals entered and struck the historic cultural and artistic facility early Monday morning, damaging the property, ruining its vast resources, leaving a trail of destruction, resulting in thousands of dollars in damages.
Within the interior of the theater, they pretty much damaged about 7 doors, which all have to be replaced.
A 50-inch television, a DVR player, and a surveillance DVR were also taken. All communications to the theater cut, and this ordeal could not come at a crucial time. The Dundas set to open its doors for a busy theatrical season. Plans were also in the works to start renovations on the center that has been in existence since 1930.
We start in a week on the 29th of July. We start rehearsals, and every night from the 29th of July until the 12th of October, we have about 80 people who are going to be descending on this place because we have 4 major productions coming up.
Police have launched an intense investigation to find the culprits.
A robbery is not going to stop us from moving. We are the community theater. It's the Bahamian People's Theater. It doesn't belong to any of us. Right. We just want to keep theater alive in the country. We have to now spend money in areas where we didn't want to.
The artistic director for the Dundas Center now appealing for financial support. The Dundas Center for the Performing Arts has been a staple in the theatrical and artistic community for decades. It is a nonprofit organization that receives no government subsidy and has no corporate support, surviving of the support of volunteers. Persons interested in financially supporting the Dundas can contact officials at their Mackey Street headquarters. Desmond Saunders, ZNS Network News.
The Adastra Gardens and Zoo opened its doors back in 1937, but it wouldn't be until the 1950s that flamingos were introduced to the zoo. With more than 200 animals, mainly birds, that call it home, the zoo has many attractions that its curator hopes visitors take time to come out and see. Here's Jiminita Swain.
Hello. Good boy. Yes, Mom. Yeah, good boy. Can I have a kiss? Yeah, thank you.
Butterbean is one of more than 200 birds that calls Adastra Gardens Zoo and Conservation Center home. Adastra, which means striving for stars in Latin, has a flamingo march that draws many to the attraction. Zoo curator Bonnie Young says Adastra has a long-term conservation program with the flamingo. In fact, they have 2 flocks.
These guys are part of our education ambassadors for the species. They do 3 flamingo marches every single day here at the zoo, and we use these encounters to educate people all over the world about our wonderful flamingos, about the plight that they faced back in the 40s and 50s when the population was pretty much decimated by hunting. So we have a separate flock. That is our breeding flock. We make sure they have a little bit more privacy. They're kept a little bit further away from the public.
The park is also home to Gombe and Calypso green-winged macaws who were rescued. Their species typically live 60 to 80 years.
So these guys are pretty much still babies. They're kids. They're still super inquisitive. They like to play with everything. They like to chew on everything. So we're real excited to have them here. We're really hoping that we'll be able to do a lot of training with them to be able to use them for interactions in the future as well.
Snakes are also residents in the park. Zookeeper Andrew Haley takes care of them and other animals.
We were hoping to get a bit lucky. One of our males had a lot of copulation going on with one of our adult females, so we're hoping that she is pregnant. So we'll just have to wait and see. Later on in the year, around September, we'll be able to tell. So here in total, we have about 5 adult snakes, and then we also have 1 juvenile rescued. He was rescued a few months back from a taxi driver. Met some people beating him with a stick.
Haley feels that snakes get a bad rap despite keeping rodent populations down. Park officials are hoping you can check out one of the many species at the zoo. Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Well, as women know, the right makeup can go a long way in completing a look. The same can be said about a hairpiece. In our continuing series with Jillian Curry-Williams, who's headed to the New York Fashion Week in September, Jiminita Swain takes a look at how both will factor into her designs.
It started
started out as a headband with feathers, a spin on Junkanoo. The initial thought for the headpiece to accompany her designs on the runway at New York Fashion Week. However, Romilda Rose designer Julian Curry Williams has since modified the concept.
We went away from the feathers because my daughter thought that was not nice enough for the print, and we came up with the idea of the flowers. So we had on the purple one that went from one side to the other, and now this one just goes across the face with the veil.
But that's not the only look she's toying with.
So this one is a crown, and these are done from beads. This and similar styles will be worn with the evening dresses, but not every evening dress will have one. I've chosen 5 of them to have headpieces. The other ones will have beaded bells.
The woman behind the headpiece is Kaya Edwards.
I just think that everything is fabulous and we want to exude that elegance, classiness, but over the top, and so with the purple you get that extravagant cascading flowers onto the face, and then with the red you have more of the height and the lacy beading working.
And with such outstanding hairpieces, makeup will need to be complementary to the looks.
This is the look that I want, and this is the look that I would want for all the persons wearing the print. It's not too much, but it's there, and it's not competing with the print.
Makeup artist Keishan Vaughn and Latara Pratt are working with Curry Williams to come up with the right look.
It's the smoky eye look with a nude lip. It will complement basically any formal wear. It'll be a good. It will add to the attire, but it won't take away from it. So it's a perfect mix to complement whatever evening wear you decide that you want to wear.
Now, Curry Williams is hoping that she will lock down sufficient sponsorship that allows the women to travel to Fashion Week with her. But if that is not possible, they will take photos for the designer to submit to makeup artists once in New York to achieve the looks. Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
All right, so warm up your vocals.
What's going on here?
Going to Cat Island, oh, Cat Island.
On the rake and skirt. What's going
and
on?
I'm scared a dance is going to come along with that, knowing you. But we're heading to Cat Island next week.
Next week we're going to be there for the whole week. The morning edition will be coming live from Cat Island. Starting on Monday, you're going, I'm going, everybody wants to go.
And you're talking about that goat head. I'm afraid of that.
Yeah, we're going to have some of that with the South name and all that stuff when I was down there for the fishy fish off. Boy, we're going to have some of that. Going to make sure you eat that.
I'm going to pray about that. But what's coming up in sports?
We're coming up in sports next weekend. It's a big weekend for Regatta, but we have Acklands in town this morning, so we're going to talk with the Acklands Regatta Committee. And next week is also Rollville, Black Point, and yes, Cat Island, where we'll be.
All right, stay with us. Sports is up next.
To say happy anniversary to the Morning Edition crew. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, and to the team, thank you so much for your hard work.
Good morning once again. It's all about Regattas next weekend. We have Rollville, you have Black Point, you have Cat Island, and guess what? You also have Acklands. Acklands is in studio this morning. Stefano Kemp. And Stefano, big weekend next week. How are things looking for that?
Oh, well, things looking good. We're going to start off this weekend with Acklands Grill and Chill right there at Sandals Beach Club Luna.
What is that going to be all about?
We're going to have some fun, good food, good fun, music. We're going to have a little bit of sailing out there in front of Sandals Beach just to entertain the folks that come through. So we're calling on all Ackland Islanders to be out there on the weekend, and even family, friends, and loved ones, you know.
And you can see in the background some of the shots from Auckland's last year. And with so many regattas next week, and how are you guys able to attract some of the top sloops in C&E?
Well, you know, we have a lot of sloops that's from Auckland, so we're mostly dependent on those ones, and we have a few others from different islands, like Andros and stuff. So we're going out there to do our best. We're going to Auckland to have good fun, so we thankful for all the persons that's going to patronize us in Auckland.
Name some of the boats that's going to be down
just for a few right off, you're going to have King and Knights, you're going to have Uncle John, you're going to have Flash, St. Sally, just to name a few. You know, some other ones
Thunderbird,
definitely,
yeah. so what can folks expect this weekend as you sail in a new atmosphere?
Yeah, there's going to be something very different. You know, we're going to bring a different taste to regatta, to the island of Auckland. You know, we're going to get a little bit different attraction for the island. Probably going to be a trendsetter. You know, first time doing something on a different area.
And this is boost to say that sailing will be the national sport with 4 major regattas next week, and all are going to have folks going down.
Going down, right? Definitely. It's going to be a good weekend next weekend. I think you're going to see sailing at its best to every island next weekend, from Auckland straight up to Cat Island, Exuma.
So tell us once again this weekend.
This weekend is going to be at Club Luna. We want to see you there. We're calling everybody, my Long Island friends, Exuma friends, everybody. I want to see you there at Club Luna.
What's on the grill?
Steak, raw fish, everything, you name it, is going to be there. So we're calling for you guys to come out, you know, have a good time, bring your family and friends, clean, fun, and enjoy.
Well, Stefano Kemp and the boys will be in Auckland's next week, but it's Grill and Chill this weekend. I'm sailing right out there. You're going to be able to watch it right out there on the shore, so make sure go on down and support them. But next week, we want you to support all the regattas, Rollville, Black Point, Auckland, and where we'll be over there in Cat Island. That's sports.
Tonight, the Northern Edition starts now.
As an artist, I travel.
Happy anniversary, Morning Edition. It's been a great year. The year ahead is expected to be even greater. Hats off to the team. Cheers.
In our final look at weather, we're taking a look at this frontal boundary started across central Florida, a low-pressure system developing on that frontal boundary, and that will be providing some showers and thunderstorms during the course of the day, all parts of the northwest Bahamas as it treks towards the north and east. As you can see in our satellite picture, already had some of those early morning showers and thunderstorms. As we said, it's all moving towards the north and east, so we'll get another round of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Our forecast for today, intervals of clouds and sunshine, thunderstorms in the area. High temperature should get up to about 89 degrees. And tonight we are looking at partly cloudy with a couple showers and thunderstorms still lingering around as that system slowly moves out of the area. The low temperature getting down to 78 degrees. And your extended weather forecast for the next 7 days, taking us through the weekend. A few more showers taking place on Friday, thereafter drying out. Saturday looking wonderful, better on Sunday. And as we head into the early part of next week, lots of sunshine during the daytime. Nighttime temperatures, they're going to remain in the mid-70s. Keisha?
Thanks, Basil. Well, that does it for us in the Morning Edition. Thanks again to Adastra Gardens for our anniversary balloon display. Gardenia celebrations, pardon me. Now, make sure to join us tomorrow for the final Independence Clue-In. Call Charles Fisher at 502-3880 just after our newscast tomorrow and give him the clues in order to win your weekend stay at Comfort Suites on fabulous Paradise Island. Well, that does it for us this morning. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Have a wonderful day.